Hey everyone! Welcome back to English shadowing practice. I'm thrilled to have you here today because we've got an amazing story that's going to help you improve your English in the most natural way possible. If you're new here, let me explain how this works. Shadowing is a powerful language learning technique where you listen to me speak and then repeat everything I say out loud, like you're my shadow. I'll tell you a captivating story, and I want you to repeat each phrase right after me. Don't think too much about grammar or perfection, just let your mouth follow along with the sounds and rhythms of English. This technique is incredible because it trains your pronunciation, your intonation, your rhythm, and it helps you start thinking in English naturally. So find a quiet place where you can speak freely, get comfortable, and prepare yourself for today's adventure. It's a story about courage, mystery, and unexpected friendship, and a journey that nobody could have predicted. Are you ready? Let's dive in. The small coastal town of Riverside was known for its quiet streets and friendly people. Every morning, the fishermen would head out to sea before sunrise. Their boats would return in the afternoon, filled with the day's catch. Life followed the same peaceful rhythm year after year. But everything changed on one particular Tuesday morning. A young girl named Maya was walking along the beach. She loved collecting seashells and watching the waves. The sun was just beginning to rise over the horizon. Golden light painted the sky in shades of orange and pink. Maya breathed in the fresh salty air. It was her favorite time of day. As she walked along the shore, something caught her eye. There was a strange object half buried in the sand. It looked like an old bottle, covered in barnacles and seaweed. Maya bent down and carefully pulled it from the sand. The bottle was made of thick green glass. Inside, she could see a rolled-up piece of paper. Her heart started beating faster with excitement. She had read stories about messages in bottles before. But she never thought she would actually find one. Maya tried to pull the cork out, but it was stuck tight. She decided to take the bottle home. Maybe her father could help her open it. When she arrived home, her father was in the kitchen. He was drinking his morning coffee and reading the newspaper. Maya burst through the door, holding the bottle high. Her father looked up with curious eyes. She explained where she had found the mysterious bottle. Together, they worked on removing the cork. After several minutes, the cork finally came loose with a pop. Maya carefully pulled out the yellowed paper inside. She unrolled it gently, afraid it might tear. The paper was covered in beautiful handwriting. It was a letter, dated 50 years ago. Maya began to read it aloud. The letter was from a young sailor named Thomas. He had written it while traveling across the ocean. In the letter, he described his adventures at sea. He wrote about storms he had survived and islands he had visited. But the most interesting part was at the end. Thomas mentioned a hidden treasure on a nearby island. According to the letter, Thomas had discovered a cave. Inside the cave was a chest filled with gold coins. But before he could return for it, his ship was called away. He drew a simple map showing the location. The island was called Moonlight Island. Maya knew exactly where that was. Moonlight Island was only a few miles from Riverside. Local fishermen often passed by it. But nobody ever went there because the waters were dangerous. Sharp rocks surrounded the island on all sides. Maya looked at her father with hopeful eyes. She wanted to search for the treasure. Her father was hesitant at first. He knew how dangerous the journey could be. But he saw the determination in his daughter's eyes. He remembered being young and adventurous himself. After thinking for a moment, he made a decision. They would go to Moonlight Island together. The next morning, they prepared for their journey. Maya's father owned a small fishing boat. They packed supplies, including food, water, and flashlights. Maya carefully folded the map and put it in her pocket. Her mother made them sandwiches for the trip. She was worried but trusted her husband's experience. They set out just after dawn. The sea was calm and the sky was clear. Perfect conditions for sailing. Maya stood at the front of the boat, watching the waves. Seagulls flew overhead, calling out to each other. The journey took about an hour. Finally, Moonlight Island came into view. It was smaller than Maya had imagined. Rocky cliffs rose up from the water. Dense forest covered the top of the island. Her father navigated carefully between the rocks. They found a small beach where they could land. Maya jumped onto the sand, map in hand. According to Thomas's directions, the cave was on the north side. They would have to climb over some rocks to get there. The terrain was rough and challenging. But Maya was determined to find the treasure. Her father followed close behind her. After 20 minutes of climbing, they saw it. A dark opening in the cliff face. The entrance to the cave. Maya's heart was racing with excitement. They turned on their flashlights and stepped inside. The cave was cool and damp. Water dripped from the ceiling. Their footsteps echoed in the darkness. The cave went deeper than they expected. Strange rock formations surrounded them. Maya consulted the map again. They needed to go left at the next fork. They followed the passage for several more minutes. Then suddenly, the cave opened into a large chamber. Maya shined her flashlight around the space. And there, in the corner, she saw an old wooden chest, covered in dust and cobwebs. She could hardly believe her eyes. They rushed over to the chest. Her father brushed away the dust. The chest was locked with a rusty padlock. He pulled out a small tool from his bag. After a few attempts, the lock broke open. Maya held her breath as he lifted the lid. Inside the chest was more than just gold coins. There were old photographs, letters, and a leather journal. Maya picked up the journal carefully. It belonged to Thomas, the sailor who wrote the message. She opened it and began to read. Each page was filled with stories of his adventures. As Maya read, she learned about Thomas's life. He had traveled to dozens of countries. He had made friends all around the world. But what struck her most was his kindness. In every story, he helped people in need. He used his treasure to make others happy. The last entry in the journal was especially touching. Thomas wrote that he hoped someone would find this chest. He hoped they would use it to do good in the world. Not just for themselves, but for others too. Maya looked at her father with tears in her eyes. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. They carefully packed everything back into the chest. Together, they carried it back to the boat. The journey home felt different somehow. Maya felt like she was carrying something precious. Not just gold and old objects, but a legacy of kindness and adventure. When they returned to Riverside, news spread quickly. Everyone wanted to know about the treasure. But Maya surprised them all. She decided to donate most of the gold to the town. They used it to build a new library, place where everyone could learn and dream. The library was named after Thomas, the sailor. Maya kept his journal and displayed it there, so that everyone could read his stories. Children would come and listen as she read aloud. Stories of adventure, courage, and kindness. Thomas's legacy lived on through Maya's generosity. Years later, Maya became a writer herself. She traveled the world, just like Thomas had. She wrote books about her adventures. And in every place she visited, she helped others. She never forgot the lesson Thomas taught her. That true treasure isn't gold or jewels. It's the good we do and the lives we touch. And sometimes, on quiet mornings, Maya would walk along the beach. She would watch the sunrise, just like she did as a child. And she would think about that message in a bottle. How one small discovery changed everything. How it taught her that adventure and kindness go hand in hand. And how the greatest treasures in life are the ones we share with others. Wow! What an incredible journey we just took with Maya, right? I hope you enjoyed practicing your English while discovering this beautiful story about adventure, kindness, and the true meaning of treasure. Remember, shadowing is one of the best ways to improve your speaking skills, so keep practicing regularly. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us create more content like this for you. Share this video with your friends who are learning English too. Let's build a community of learners who support each other. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Keep practicing, keep improving, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Just like Maya, you can achieve amazing things when you're determined and kind. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy learning!